before. Maybe you like, watching basketball. You probably heard it from Kobe Bryant. But we're going to speak, and I'm actually going to touch bases on one of the examples that Kobe Bryant had when it comes referencing the Mamba mentality. And and particularly, there's three things that separates a champion, all right, from everybody else. And in order to have that separation, you have to obtain the Mamba no holds bar mentality. It's a no excuses mentality, okay? Now, the first thing about it, I want to speak on just a story, a little short story about when Kobe Bryant he played against the current ESPN commentator, right, Jason Williams. And before the game, they was out there practicing, right? Kobe Bryant always practiced before the game, and he was out there, and so was Jason Williams. And this guy, Jason Williams, said the guy just kept on shooting and shooting and shooting, right? And he was looking over there, and he was about ready to take it in. But then he looked over, he's like, man, this guy's going. So they just kept shooting, right? And he looked at the time, he said, I lost track of this time. So I looked at my clock and realized it was an hour later, right? So this is game day, right? So keep that in mind. This is game day, and an hour later, Kobe Bryant is still shooting the ball, still going in, still going hard, like he's playing the game, right? Like the game is in effect right then. So that's something that you need to think about. So he said, this guy came in, game started, right? And Kobe just went crazy, dropped 40 on him, dropped 40 points on him. And I think it was like the third quarter, he came up to him. No, the second quarter, he came up to him and they was down. Kobe Bryant was down. And he came up to him and he shook his hand. He said, hey, great game. You did good. So he looked at him like, first of all, we're winning. What are you talking about? But Kobe Bryant knew what he had going on. He knew that the game was already won, right? So he ended up dropping 40 points on his team, right? And Jason Williams had to, at the end of the game, once they lost, he came over, he shook his hand, he said, hey, man, I got one question. One question for you. What made you decide to keep on shooting that ball in the gym? It was like an hour and something passed and you were still shooting. And Kobe Bryant looked at him, he said, because I wasn't going to let you outwork me. I rather it be so close to the game being started than you outwork me. You're gonna leave before me, and that just blew his mind. From that point on, he knew that Kobe Bryant was like the Black Mamba, right? So, rule number one: it takes for you to be relentless with your work ethic. That's what the story tells me. The story tells me that it took Kobe Bryant to put in his mentality and say, you know what? I'm going to be relentless. What that means is no matter what's going on, no matter what time it is, I'm going to get up. I'm going to play ball. He says sometimes he would practice. He would get up and probably only take an hour break, and he would practice all day. This guy would literally practice all day from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night. Practice all day and just take a break to eat. Take a break to eat, guys. And we all know Kobe Bryant. He's a family guy, right? He's a family guy. So what does that say about you in your business, whatever business you're in? What does that say about you in your profession, whatever profession that you have? What does that say about you and your aspirations or your skill sets or just the goal that you have? What does it say about you, right? All right, because we all have families. We all have things that pop up. I hear it all the time. People say, I would do it, but I'm so busy. I have so much going on. Well, then that lets me know where your trust lies. That lets me know where your faith lies, right? Because if you had faith and you believe that, okay, this could come to pass, without works is dead. Your work is lacking. Your work is lacking. You're sitting up there and you're watching whatever you're watching, right? You're doing whatever you want to do. You're hanging out with friends, right? Right? You don't have the capacity in you to tell somebody that you care about, hey, not right now. I'm going to sit, don't do it. Who will, right? So the Mamba mentality, your relentless work ethic, it takes those hours of shooting the ball if you play basketball. If you're in network marketing, it take those hours of not being able to eat dinner with your family. It take that time for you to put in to rejuvenate who you are. Because if you spend 30 years being somebody, how many years of that do you have to replace with positive thinking? So your personal development, how much time are you spending in your personal development to reprogram your thinking? See, the reason why you're not where you need to be is because your thinking is thinking. And it doesn't always mean that you're negative. It doesn't always mean that you're negative, but the outcome is negative. Your bank account is low. You're always looking around and there's a problem or issue going on that pertains to money because you're not putting in the work needed in order to get those finances, right? So relentless work ethic. You won't let anybody outwork you. Anybody, I don't care who it is. And a lot of times we say, in building this business, we say, don't allow your upline to outwork you. Your upline has that Mamba mentality, right? Right? So you're this person, you're trying to climb the ladder, but let's take a look at your life. Let's take a look at your situation. What are you doing? What are your actions saying about your faith and where you want to go? Because we can say that we want to be here. We want to be a superstar. We want to do this. We want to be the best basketball player. We want to be the best football player. We want to be the best actress or actor or singer or entertainer in that matter, or the best, whatever your goals are. What does your work ethic say? So that's like rule number one. So number two, you have to have a relentless attitude. A relentless attitude. And that goes back to saying to yourself, hey, yes, I'm a grieve, but I'm going to keep going. Because my need is bigger than my greed. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to grieve because my need is bigger than my grieve. They had their time on earth. They had their time. But they left you behind here to accomplish things and make it happen, right? What good would it do to them if you were to take that death in the family, to take that car accident, that bad breakup, that lost job, the family members not believing in you, the whatever it may be, life comes at you in all sorts of ways, guys. But what is your attitude? Is it relentless? Is it like no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on, at this moment right now, I'm going to be persistent in order to obtain the goal? Right? You still there, Isis? Look like you froze up. Are we still recording? Look like we got a little bad internet connection.
Yes, are you still, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you now. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, I just wanted to interject real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
It sounds like you're saying, like, you just literally have to have an unstoppable mentality no matter what goes in your way.
No matter
right?
what.
Correct?
No matter what. No matter what. That's exactly correct. And so many times people that are striving for greatness, or they say they are, they miss out on that. They miss out on that. There's this another story about the guy running on the treadmill, right? Some of you guys probably heard that before, but the guy running on the treadmill, and he's running on the treadmill and he's training, and the guy's asking him, I'm gonna say his name is Will Smith. So Will Smith is running on the treadmill, right? Got to give credit to Will, Big Will. So he's running on the treadmill, and people, this is gonna happen. One, I'm gonna win, or two, I'm gonna die trying.
Say it again for the people in the back.
He said, one, I'm gonna win, and two, I'm gonna die trying. So there's only two options. So let's take that into your lives. One, I'm gonna win. Two, I'm gonna die trying. Now we know everybody has a day to go. Everybody has a time clock to punch in or out, right? But the object is to be the best form of you today while you're here on this earth to serve the people that you need to serve. Because truth be told, everybody is assigned to somebody. Everybody is assigned to somebody. So when you're in this business and out there, you're trying to grow your business, and people are telling you no here and there. Keep this one thing in mind. I told someone this yesterday. I said when you go out there and you're asking for people to take a look into you or invest in you, I say don't take it personal, because if you do, you'll miss your blessing. But this should help you while you're going out there asking people to bless you. Remember this one thing: you can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So what you must do is fuel your mind with things that'll help you. Because by you never saying the wrong thing to the right person, and in that sense, well, there's people that are not being able to be in a position to bless you because they're not the person to be blessed. Because the people that bless people are also getting blessed. So a lot of times people get mad when someone tell them no. That's okay. That's okay. Don't get mad because that person just wasn't the person assigned to be blessed by blessing you. See, here's the thing: you're the blessing. You're the blessing. And when they realize that, because they'll be encouraged, they'll be pushed to bless you because they have a blessing for themselves. They realize they're the blessing too. Right? So just that relentless attitude, you have to build your mind to be able to have thick skin, guys. Thick skin. So what you twisted your ankle. So what you had 10 sign-ups and then all 10 stopped. So what? Are you going to keep going? Is your attitude relentless? Or are you the person to quit? Are you the person to give up, throw in the towel, right? So thirdly, last but not least, I want to talk about the relentless pursuit of growth. So we talked about personal development a little bit in the beginning. What are you doing in order to grow your mind, your body, and your spirit? You see, the athletes, they train themselves, not only on the court, but off the court too as well. They sit and they watch hours. Kobe said he watched hours and hours and hours of footage of himself. So you must study your own moves. Or you guys studying your own moves, guys? Or you studying the things that work and the things that didn't work? You see, we're in the life of a game, right? So look at it as every time you go out there, you're playing a game. Right? Every time you go out there, you're involved in the game. It's the first, second, third, fourth quarter. Are you studying your own moves? A crossover would be the presentation, right? Somebody tried to come at you with a rebuttal, you crossed them over on your presentation and kept going, right? For the slam dunk. Boom. All right. Now, if you didn't, did you rewind and reflect? Did you reflect? And when you reflected, did you feel bad about yourself or did you feel great that you even tried? You see, a lot of times people, they fail to keep going because they don't understand and realize that, hey, you did great just trying because you did better than the person who didn't try. So keep going. Now you're all the time we say it, get a mentor. Your upline, your mentor. Bob Proctor, your mentor. Jim Rohn, your mentor. Zig Ziglar, your mentor. Robert Kiyosaki, your mentor. Who is your mentor, right? Right? Because when we first came to this earth, your mother and your father was your first mentor. And a lot of people in the community that we're in, they didn't have both at the same time. I know I didn't have my father. He was killed by the time I turned two. So by the time I turned two, I didn't have that father figure role model. So I had to go out there and stretch forth and reach out to role models, right? So even now in your business, who's your role model? Who's doing so great that you wanna be them? I advise you to let them be your mentor. I advise you to let them be your role model. So study your role model. Duplication is key. Duplication is key. Trust the process, right? And then last, study your opponent. Who is your opponent? If you're in the business world, your opponent might be someone else that's, excuse me, maybe in competition with you, right? And I advise you, don't operate out of competition. Don't operate out of competition. Because the champion with the Mamba mentality, yes, it's a competition, but they're not operating out of it. They're operating out of their gifts. They're operating out of their gratitude that they have to be even be able to be the greatest. See, you gotta think that you're the greatest in order to be the greatest. Because if you don't think it, you're already lost already. And I'm gonna say that again. You gotta think that you're the greatest before you even become the greatest. Because it starts in the mind. And that's why we're talking about the Mamba mentality, Isis.
Wow. So really quick, because you dropped a lot of nuggets. It was
I'm
something I
sorry.
wanted to go back. Some you said about study your competition,
Yes.
but don't study it to be in competition. Can you elaborate on how you can study your competition?
Perfect. So one clear way that you can do that is when you're studying your competition, you look at them as your mentor because they might be the champions before you. So a person that's your mentor, you will have gratitude for. You will be grateful that they are an example for you to pull from so that you can increase your skills. So gratitude is key. Gratitude is key. Where there is gratitude, competition cannot exist.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
So let me elaborate. Yes. So basically, you're saying, see somebody that's getting the results that you actually want,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of being stuck in the emotion of ego, feeling like, oh, they got this, they got that. You're looking at a place from the heart, like, oh, well, gosh, well, I got these things too. Matter of fact, let me reach out to them to see how we can collaborate to go even further. Am I
Absolutely.
correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You hit that right on point. Because competition, it doesn't yield success. In actuality, it pushes it away. Because, like you say, you're not operating from a place of your heart. You're operating from a place of your head by looking at material things or looking at this. So now you're putting yourself in a position to covet what they have. So all of this bad energy and things is getting in the way, and now you're wondering why you can't get through. And you're saying, "I got the mama mentality. What's going on? I'm relentless with my work ethic. I'm relentless with my attitude." Yeah, but your attitude is jacked up.
Seems like people would be comparing their stories to somebody else's story, not even knowing the time they had to put in to get to where they are.
Not even knowing the time. Not even knowing the time. And not even realizing that they too have their own story. And so many people are extras in their own movie instead of being the star.
Now elaborate on that. What do you mean by that?
Well, they're playing other people that don't even have a role, a speaking role. So they're playing other people on the sideline and watching everybody be the star of their own movie because perception is reality. So everybody with these two things, these eyes, have their own movie playing because you're seeing it. These are your lenses. So everybody you're connected to has a movie of their own. But so many people play extras in their own movie. They do this and watch and watch on the sideline. They're in the theater eating popcorn. Right? They the person that way in the background where then they try to get credit for the movie. It'd be like, oh, you see you in the movie. Then they'd be like, pause it right there. Behind them, sitting on the bench, not saying too much. Real quick, oh, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. You blink your eyes, you miss it. So they miss a part in their own movie.
Wow, wow. I hope you guys are taking notes because we have a saying here in the entrepreneur world: money makers are note takers.
That's
And
right.
Tony has been dropping the nuggets, you guys. And I want you guys to really elaborate on what he said. Are you an extra in your own movie? Are you the one directing it? Or are you the one letting other people rule and direct your life? That was very, very powerful. So check this out, Tony. As we kind of close this up, I just kind of want to hear personally from you. Have you, if you could just share maybe about three minutes, have you had anything in your life that has put you in a position where you like really had to turn your Mamba mentality up a couple notches?
Wow. Absolutely. I've had a few things. When when my mom, she had to actually serve a time in federal prison. Okay, she had to actually serve time in federal prison. And at that time, I was mentally in a position to where I had to choose school or family. I had to choose school or family. We had a $250,000 home. I was in high school. I was a junior. Um, I had transferred from another school, Riverview, a city school, and the school that I ended up transferring to was a predominantly white school. So I was on the football team. The coach wanted me to play football, so I finally made it out there. But the thing was that my transfers got lost. So when you talk about Mamba mentality, I ended up being the guy on the team that never got to play the game. But every practice I showed up. Every practice I breathed life into the team. I made the team 100% better. Each player, if there was a player on the line that was messing up, I would come from linebacker. I would get on the line and I would tell the lineman to move over and I would go against him and make that guy stronger because I wanted my team to win, okay? No matter if I was playing in the game or not. So I was awaiting from the athletic director the go ahead to be able to play in the game. But I didn't let that discourage me, right? I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? Mom, she about to go away and I'm in school, so I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision, and I ended up making a decision of pulling back out of school and doing what I had to do and stepping up and taking place to take care of my little brother and little sister. So I had to have that Mamba mentality. I had to have a relentless work ethic to be able to provide. My attitude had to be on their hair done. I had to do her hair, right? Little brother needed some clothes. I had to get him some clothes. So whatever there was that I had to do, I made sure that I made it happen. And I didn't quit. I didn't take no for an answer, and I didn't take defeat for an answer at all. Let's see. Another time. Mamba mentality. Wow. Whew. Man, it seemed like I've been using that mentality all my life. All my
Wow.
life. So there was another time, let's take it back earlier days before I started playing football. It took me 4 years to actually make the team. I started trying out at age 10. Age 10, I started trying out. So I got a late start. Most people start little league 7 years old, but I started at age 10. Right? Everybody wanted me to play basketball. They said I was great. I knew I was great in that, but I didn't want to play. I wanted to play football. I was a contact type of guy, right? So I had to do certain things in order to make the team. So I was skinny back then. I was skinny. I was this frail, skinny kid, but my arms and my shoulders were wide. My arms were long, and I had agility. I could move. I was very athletic. That's why they wanted me to play basketball. They're like, dude, your arms are long, your shoulders are wide. Excuse me, you can shoot the ball, you know how to move. I'm like, nah, that's cool, but I want to play football. So I focused my mindset on football. So the first year I came out, and this changed my life forever. The first year I came out, I put it all on the field. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know the drills. I didn't know the coach. I didn't know the people that are on the team. And, most of these kids, they know each other because they started at 7 years old. I didn't know anybody, so I just came out there. I put it all on the line and put it all on the field with no previous training or anything, right? Um, so it came cut time 2, 3 weeks later. It came cut time, and the names are getting called for the people that made the team, people that are getting cut, and people that are the red shirt. So the names went down the line. My name did not get. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out, but sorry to tell you, you didn't make the team. So that time came, and he told me that. And when he told me that, I didn't break down. I'm telling you, even if he didn't tell me what I'm about to tell you now, I didn't break down, and I had in my mind, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So what he told me, Coach Ike, he said, come here. Everybody else he had go. He said, come here. He said, you know what? If half my team had the heart that you have, we'd be undefeated champions right now. Blew my mind. Blew my mind. Stuck with me forever. Stuck with me forever. And that one phrase took me from 10 years old to 37 years old now. That one phrase. If I had a team with half the heart you have. And what he saw was my relentless work ethic, even though I didn't know what I was doing. What he saw was my relentless attitude, even though I was inside of the bull ring and it was my first time, and he call out numbers and people come hitting me from the back, from the front. For I don't know if you know about the bull ring, but they outlawed it, right? You got a team in a circle with equipment on, and one person's in the middle, and everybody got numbers on, and you don't know where the person's coming from. They're running full force to hit you.
Wow.
So I'm in the middle like this. Got to keep your head on the swivel. But I didn't know anything. Boom, get back up. Boom, get back up. Boom. They had to stop these people from doing it because they said, man, you're going to die. If that's what it took, I was going to do it. So yeah, those are the two main things. But I got plenty more stories, but I know we're short on time. But those are the two main things.
Wow, wow, wow. Talking about being relentless, even when you think that and that's what I feel like it really takes out here, especially when it comes to being an entrepreneur, business owner, is to have that relentless mindset. So,
Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
Tony, as we end this, like, where can people find you?
Sure. You can find me on YouTube, of course, Tony Wealthy. You can find me on Facebook, Tony Wealthy. You'll see my picture. I got a nice professional picture there. And you can find me on Instagram, Tony Wealthy.
All across the board,
All
y'all.
across the
Straight up.
board.
Really simple, really simple. So I hope you guys have got a page full of notes, more than a page full of notes. I hope that you take what he said and don't just listen to it like, oh, that was a good video, but actually apply it
Yes.
to your life. Because what he is saying is literally what breeds champions. And if you want to be a champion, not an ordinary individual, then definitely take heed at what he said. And once again, Tony, I'm just so super excited that you wanted to come on here on this platform and once again pour into the community to help them be the best version of themselves, Tony. Thank you so much. And hey, I look forward to maybe seeing you again next month doing something on this session.
Let's do it. Thank you so much. I'm so excited and grateful that you allowed me to come on. Talk to you later.
All right, peace.
Peace.
I gotta end this. Wait a minute. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to end this. Hold on,
YouTube
y'all.
viewers, just finished up an interview.
I think I'm still on.
If
Okay,
you
there you
missed
go.
it,
Okay,
I'll
stop
post the
laughing.
video later. But we're trying to get
Okay,
off.
cool. We're off.
All right, we're off.
Yes, we're off.
Perfect.
That was amazing, man.